What makes a player clutch? Is it the ability to handle pressure, to perform when the game is on the line, or to rise to the occasion when it matters most? Whatever it is, there's no denying that these 10 NBA players have it in spades. From buzzer beaters to game-winning shots, these are the top 10 most clutch NBA players of all time. Kicking off our list at number 10 is one of the most dominant big men to ever play the game, the Diesel. Shaquille O'Neal was a force to be reckoned with in the post, and he knew how to take over a game when it counted. With his size, strength, and unstoppable moves, Shaq was a terror for any defender. And when the game was on the line, he didn't shy away from the spotlight. In fact, he embraced it. Shaq was a true clutch performer, and that's why he's on this list.
Who would Shaq be if he had your work ethic? He'd be the greatest of all time. If Shaq had your work ethic, he'd be the greatest of all time.
Greatest of all time by a mile.
Sure. He'd be the first to tell you that, for sure. I mean, this guy was a force like I have never seen. It was crazy.
Coming in at number 9 is Reggie Miller, the sharpshooter from the Indiana Pacers. Reggie was a skilled marksman from behind the arc, and he had a knack for draining trees when the game was on the line. Miller was a fierce competitor who never backed down from a challenge, and he always found a way to elevate his game in the biggest moments. He helped lead the Pacers to the NBA Finals in 2000, and he'll always be remembered for his incredible performance in the 1995 playoffs against the New York Knicks, when he scored 8 points in 9 seconds to steal the game. Reggie Miller was clutch personified.
Reggie Miller is one of the best pure shooters that I've ever played against.
Reggie was so clutch, he wanted the ball in his hands, and he had a unique ability to draw fouls.
It's hard to guard him, coming off screens. He could also put it on the floor and take it to the basket.
So he's always able to keep the defense off balance.
That's what they don't talk about a lot, but his jump shot was one of the purest I've ever seen.
At number 8 we have Hakeem Olajuwon, one of the greatest centers to ever play the game. This man was a nightmare for opposing defenders, with his combination of size, speed, and skill. Olajuwon was a true leader who always stepped up when his team needed him the most. He led the Houston Rockets to back-to-back championships in 1994 and 1995, and he was the MVP of both of those finals. Hakeem the Dream was a clutch king.
Hakeem Olajuwon you should know how good he is when LeBron, Kobe, all these guys go to him for advice and on how to do his footwork. This guy's footwork was some of the most amazing footwork you ever see.
Jumping in at number 7 is none other than Earvin Magic Johnson, the point guard who revolutionized the game. Magic was a master of the fast break, and he had a flair for the dramatic that made him a fan favorite. He won 5 NBA championships with the Lakers and was a 3-time Finals MVP. He was a true leader who always stepped up in the biggest moments. And he is one of the most clutch performers in all of the NBA history.
Your idol growing up was Magic Johnson, a guy you admired.
I grew up watching Magic, and I've learned so much from him. I can't sit here and be like, I'm the greatest Laker ever. To me, he is.
Number 6 is who I'd refer to as the quiet superstar. Tim Duncan was a clutch performer throughout his career. He led the San Antonio Spurs to 5 NBA championships, and his performance in the 2003 NBA Finals was nothing short of dominant. He averaged 24 points, 17 rebounds, and 5 blocks per game, and his clutch play in Game 6 sealed the victory for the Spurs.
I've heard you say many times the greatest big men, Kareem, Wilt, Bill Russell, maybe Hakeem, then maybe me. Now, you hear a lot of other people say Tim Duncan is the greatest power forward to ever play the game. I agree with that. So, wasn't trying to be disrespectful. Never be disrespectful. The guy is a great player. He had 5. I just don't want people to get mixed up with power forward and center.
In the number 5 position, we have Larry Bird, the legendary forward for the Boston Celtics. This man was a master of the clutch shot, and he had a competitive fire that made him one of the most feared players of his era. Bird won 3 NBA championships with the Celtics, and he was a 12-time All-Star. His outstanding performances are the stuff of legend, and he'll always be remembered as one of the greatest to ever do it.
Three-point contest at the All-Star break, and Larry walks in and says, "I hope all you guys in here are thinking about second place because I'm winning this."
Let's continue to number 4 with Dirk Nowitzki. Dirk was a force to be reckoned with whenever the game was on the line. He led the Dallas Mavericks to their first NBA championship in 2011, and his performance throughout the playoffs was nothing short of legendary. He hit clutch shots time and time again, and his fadeaway jumper was virtually unstoppable.
I think that Dirk does not get the respect he does as an all-time great. I think he's probably one of the most underrated players because, you know, he went to the finals that year, and then the year that he beat the Heat, he beat LeBron and Wade, swept Kobe, right? And beat the Spurs. Am I correct? That's crazy.
Rounding out the top 3 starts off with LeBron James. This man has been a dominant force in the league for almost 2 decades, and he has shown time and time again that he is at his best when the stakes are the highest. LeBron has won 4 NBA championships and has been the Finals MVP in all of them. He's also one of the greatest all-round players in the history of the sport, with his combination of size, speed, and skill. LeBron James is clutch personified, and that's why he's our number 3.
Doc, I'm sorry, but I had to teach your son a lesson. LeBron James teaching a lesson.
What are you guys doing schematically to limit him offensively?
We're guarding him with 5 guys.
All by doing it with pack it in, or you know, what else tactically? I mean, every team tries to guard him with 5 guys in one way or another. What are the Spurs doing that's different than other
We
opponents?
understand what kind of player he is. He is the best player in the world, so we're respecting him as that. So we're trying to make his life as difficult as possible, and every time he touches the ball, if we can keep him out of the open court, that's obviously where he really thrives. And if we can keep those away and keep his rhythm down, then it's better for us.
The number 2 spot goes to the Black Mamba. In 2006, Kobe Bryant put on a show for the ages, scoring an incredible 81 points in a single game against the Toronto Raptors. It was the 2nd highest point total in a game by a single player in NBA history, and is widely considered one of the greatest individual performances of all time.
Last play of the game, I think we're down maybe 2 points, about 30 seconds, last minute of the game, and I'm guarding Kobe, and I guessed right. I mean, he went right, I guessed right, he pump faked, I didn't go for it, I jumped with him as he went up to shoot it. Everything was perfect defensively, and he still hits a 3-pointer in my face, and then he taps Alvin Gentry on the butt as he's running down the court the other end. So that was something.
And here we go, the best to have ever done it, the GOAT himself, Michael Jordan. I mean, what can be said that hasn't already been said? He hit countless game winners throughout his career, and his performance in the 1998 NBA Finals was nothing short of iconic. In Game 6 against the Utah Jazz, Mike hit the game-winning shot with 5.2 seconds remaining, stealing the victory for the Chicago Bulls and securing their 6th NBA championship and 2nd three-peat in 8 seasons.
7, or from championship number 6. Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead!
Michael Jordan is not only the best basketball player, but he's the most exciting basketball player to ever play. We only dream about doing things that he can do.
These players may have different styles and approaches to the game, but they all share one thing in common: the ability to rise to the occasion when it matters the most. They are the top 10 most clutch NBA players of all time, and their performances will be remembered for generations to come.